The American Architectural Foundation, helping Americans understand the power of architecture to elevate and enrich the human experience.
No place had to change more than Chattanooga, Tennessee. In 1969, the city was dying, economically and environmentally. It got so bad that it was named the most polluted city in America. People had to turn their headlights on at midday to cut through the murk. Chattanooga knew it had to clean itself up. Strict environmental controls and the decline of manufacturing industries helped clear the air. But once the pollution was gone, a host of fundamental problems remained. A dying downtown, a stagnant economy, and a social fabric long torn by race and class. In the mid-1970s, encouraged and convened by a far-sighted local foundation, concerned business and community leaders met to form a new organization dedicated to the rebirth of the city. It was called Chattanoga Venture. By 1984, Venture had organized Vision 2000, which involved thousands of citizens in the process of deciding what they wanted Chattanooga to be. For the first time in the city's history, everyone was invited to the table.
As a native of this community, I think to try to have a say in a vote, so to speak, in what might happen with the future of this community was unparalleled.
I think people in government need to be part of the total community decision-making. I think sometimes that's not always the case.
Vision was something to build trust and build hope. And I got involved because I've always been a positive person and always been community-oriented, but I never had a leadership role, and I didn't have a leadership role in Vision. I was just one of the many thousands participants that came to the meetings.
I mean, there's doubt. People doubt your motives. People doubt whether this is going to amount to anything. It takes a lot of effort to get people to the table.
But they did come to the table. The Vision 2000 process resulted in 40 ambitious goals for the city. Many of the goals reflected an understanding that to restore their community, they would have to tackle their built environment. They began, as Portland and Suisun City did, by making a strong commitment to bringing back their downtown and strengthening neighborhoods. They supported historic preservation, built new housing, and created major attractions to bring people back into the city.
It just serves you well to realize that it's not by draconian authority that you're really going to make a good community. It's by lifting people's vision and spirit. So I think that institution has been enormously influential in many very quiet ways to drive the standard of quality.
I see a level of imagination and design and construction in terms of quality that's beyond what it was 10 years ago, in part because we have a better sense of ourselves, of what we deserve, what we expect.
They hold our feet to the fire, you know. They show us what something ought to be, and we stretch as far as we possibly can to make that happen.
In Chattanooga, a unique combination of government, corporate, and foundation money pays the bills.
One of the first places we take business prospects is to that design center. We want business prospects to see that we're working in an organized, focused fashion in Chattanooga, and that what we're doing in government will complement, enhance, and even protect the private investment they may make in this city. And the design center is a great asset to us in economic development.
We wanted to create a street, and this will take 15, 20 years to build, that connects Kirkman Hill all the way through with the Arts District at Bluff View.
One of the most important goals to emerge from Vision 2000 was the idea of reconnecting people with the Tennessee River.
Chattanooga was born on the waterfront as a river trading post. So our community's history started there, and then ultimately our manufacturing heritage started there. So when we began to look at the revitalization of this community, that was one of the areas that we focused on first because it was our birthplace. The whole Riverbend Festival and beginning to bring people back down to the river really began to raise people's consciousness that you can revitalize your community in very untraditional ways.
It's about spirit. And there's something about a river that reaches beyond the day-to-day issues.
The return to the river has helped reunite the city with its past, but more importantly, it's helped ensure its future. The redevelopment of the riverfront has become the engine for economic rebirth. The aquarium was built with private money, the surrounding plaza was largely public, and the land was assembled by River Valley partners.
The aquarium was not a project unto itself. With the public investment into the streets, it actually extends those improvements for approximately 4 and 5 blocks beyond. That really, it's all about connectivity.
But there was something already on the river that would give the city a way to reach back, to recapture an important link with its past. It was the 100-year-old Walnut Street Bridge that connects downtown with the city's isolated North Shore.
The public participation really was the thing that got it going. They were overwhelmingly in support of the restoration and convinced the city to put up their sunk cost, which was what it would cost to tear it down, and then raise the balance privately by selling the plaques along the bridge. It created a lot of public participation. It's their bridge.
What is the importance of connecting this side of the river with the other side? What has that done for you?
Well, it's been a big boon economically. When you get over to Frazier Avenue, you'll see all those little shops are brand new. They weren't here 5 years ago.
People respond to something with stores with soul. I mean, they're old buildings, it's an old area, and the stores that spring up around us in this area are very similar too, in the type of people who come in and the quality they're striving for. So it all kind of starts, walking along the same path, so to speak, and that's when it gets exciting.
By focusing on design elements that would reinforce a sense of community, Vision 2000 made it possible for Chattanooga's citizens to be actively engaged in their city's design and planning process. It's a work in progress that brings ordinary citizens together with architects and planners, business and civic leaders to lead Chattanooga back from the brink.
When you ask the question, what's wrong, we found that people just went to battle with each other. But when you ask what kind of community do you want to be, and not 2 years from now, but 20 years from now, imaginations creak open and conversations get on a different plane.
Our people together, and we still have them together, and we have made some great gains because we've been able to draw off the strength of all of our people.
So you set out here not just to design a couple of parks or a couple of open spaces, rather to design a city.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm absolutely convinced you have to go about it that way.